me guess your sign. Give me your hand. Leo.
Damn! Get the freak out of here.
I did it!
Because I seen your show and you missed a couple times. So I was like...
Your energy is strong here. You have a very clear energy. Damn!
And you know, I don't even really...
Damn, y'all.
Yeah, wow.
I'm good. I'm good.
No, that was dope.
Right.
And I don't even really
believe
in
I said
signs.
that, though?
Go ahead.
You're very confident.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you have a lot of pride in yourself. You're confident. You're social. You just have a very strong, fierce energy.
Right.
Yeah, and then I felt like you were close to my water sign, Cancer. You couldn't be, because you still have a sensitivity in you.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
All my friends know I'm Mr.
That.
But I can be like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, so.
The lion that wants to cuddle it.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I'm ripping and roaring all day, but at night I'm like, oh. You know, so,
No.
That was good. And I don't even really believe in signs, but I am what they say. I'm 90% of what they say Leos are. I really am.
I think the coffee also awakened my senses. So he said that he's never liked honey with coffee, and that the only time he really liked it is when he used my Breeze Bees honey. Shout out to Breeze Bees.
Shout out to Breeze.
For hooking me up with free honey.
Yes.
They gave me like this whole package. It was like 2 honeys and a dawa. They're like Supreme Dawa manufacturers.
Amazing.
Here in Kenya, locally sourced. Yeah, so shout out to Breeze Bees. Let's start that off.
Honey and coffee. Wow.
We're here. It's good. Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk? What's popping?
What's popping? So I've always, y'all, complained about the lack of African-American activity as far as Kenya and men on my page. So African-American men avoid Brittany and Africa's interviews.
Why y'all be avoiding Brittany?
They avoid me, y'all. All I can get is the black expat females. The black men run for the coastline, honey. They're running. So I'm actually really happy to have him. I've interviewed Jeremy and I've interviewed Paul, which you guys remember, but they were transient. So he is a resident and a staple here in Nairobi. So this is like a kind of different vibe, right?
Yes.
So tell me who you are.
I is Troy White. Pleasure to meet you guys. Thank you, Britt, for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I did my crash course on your show past couple days, so I'm really excited about being here. But yeah, Troy White. I've been in Nairobi for 7.5 years now. It'll be 8 in July, this coming July.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time. You're a vet.
I do marketing and creative strategies for brands.
Awesome. So you sent me your bio and I read nothing.
I
like to go in.
I got a dope bio.
I know, but I'll read it after. No, listen, I'll read it after when I put it in the video description. But I like to go in not knowing too much.
All right, so I'll give you
that's what helps me to curate the question.
Okay. She curated.
Yeah,
okay.
curation.
She curates.
It assists my curation process. So, what got you here 7 years ago?
Well, my family and I were living in New York. My ex-wife she wasn't my ex-wife then, she's my wife, had this dope opportunity to become CEO of a huge company here in Africa, in Kenya. So we had never even traveled to the continent before.
Wow, how did that opportunity come about? We had traveled
the world and done all kinds of stuff. And it's funny how when you put things out, and I'm a big God fan, and literally we had made a decision that we weren't going to go to any other European countries until we go to the continent that year. We said that. Okay. Like, no more traveling anywhere else. We're going to the continent. We didn't know where we were going to go. And then this job opportunity came up for us to move to Kenya. And we were like, wow, that would be so dope. And then our kids will get to have an opportunity to go to school here and, living in Harlem and then moving to Nairobi.
Be a global citizen, a child of the world.
Yeah. No, we wanted our kids.
They're called third country kids.
Yeah. So now we moved to Nairobi 7.5 years ago. And because of her job, and then because of what I do the same thing I did in the States. I make my elevator pitches, I make shit hot.
Ooh.
So whether or not it's politicians or brands,
you just know how to turn it up.
Yeah,
you're a professional litigator.
Yes, a litigator. Yes. That's what I do. And if you do that, and if that's your blessing, you can do that anywhere. So that's what I do.
Let's chat. Yeah. I wanted like a brand manager. Because I don't have time. If you know Nairobi, let's chat.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I've put together strategies in the States for President Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Nike, Adidas, Pontiac, American Express, about 50 to 70 different artists, because I worked for Sony for 15 years.
Wow. I'm out here. You have a boss chick wife.
Yes.
You guys move out here. What was that first initial change like with you? You're moving out here. You have a wife. You have 2 kids.
Right. It was easy. We were talking earlier. I say that I call Nairobi Africa light. Meaning that, and no diss in any kind of way, it's just smoother for an expat to land here than some other places around the world or some other places on the continent.
Yeah.
It's just, you land here, the cellular service is great, the Wi-Fi is great, dope hotels, dope apartments, dope restaurants, dope nightclubs. You feel like you're in the States or you're in Europe or anywhere. Like the amenities here are really nice.
A very accommodating city.
Yeah. And everyone speaks English. I've been here for 7.5 years, and I've been in the rural areas. I've never met one person that doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
And when I went back to the States the first time, this was the funny thing. I was talking to my friends, and they were like, "Oh, so do they speak English?" And da-da-da. I'm like, listen, my gardener speaks 6 languages. The woman that cooks and cleans for me speaks 5. I only speak 1.
And I always say African kids are smarter for that. American kids, we're stupid.
We're beyond stupid.
Yeah, most Africans know how to speak their traditional language, somebody else's tribe maybe, near English, because some people know Swahili and then their tribe language and then English. And a little Arabic sometimes too. So it's,
So I was really impressed with that. I was like, wow, okay, how ignorant am I? I get to speak, and I always say I speak 2. I speak English and then hood. So,
Ebonics.
Yeah.
It's called AAVE, African American Vernacular. I think.
Vernacular.
Yeah, vernacular English. AAVE, that's what they call it.
By the way, you have 2 Howard University grads on this right here. So I never do an interview without giving shout outs to the greatest university on the face of this universe.
Shout out to the illustrious.
The universe. The Mecca.
People are trying to be like Harvard, and I'm like, Harvard wants to be Howard. Yeah. Harvard is the white Howard.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
no, I went to Howard.
The pinnacle.
It's like in between the A and the B. I'll take the A over the B any day.
Hello.
So
how old were your kids when they came out here?
My son was 12 and my daughter was 9.
Were they accepting, let's go, or was it kind of?
Yeah, no, we're blessed, to have 2 unbelievable, great kids that we raised. I mean, they were raised in Harlem, but we showed them different types of worlds. We showed them the hood side, the middle class side, and the upper class side. So they know how to move and shake in between different worlds. So when we take them places, they're very open. So we were blessed because we've heard horror stories about friends that have taken their kids from the States and brought them to parts of Africa or parts of other worlds, and their kids rebelled. And they were like, you ruined my life, and
I hate you.
We got none of that.
That's
our kids adjusted very well here, went to school here for 3 years. Then my ex got a promotion to move to London. So they moved to London, and then I commuted back and forth from Nairobi to London for...
What made you feel like you didn't just want to leave and go to London?
Okay, so... Came here, got my stuff popping off really well in the entertainment field, in marketing, and I had done some work with Safaricom and Coke and EABL, which is our biggest liquor distributor, couple politicians. So things were going well. So I was like, you know what? I want to stay here and let me rock my shit out. And then you guys can go to London. Because it would be, at first I was like, no, let's have the kids stay here and you go. But then I was like, it would be kind of dope for the kids to have New York, Nairobi and London. You know, like how freaking
get life
hot
under
is
your
that?
belt.
Yeah. So then did that for 3.5 years, commuting back and forth in between London and Nairobi. But I mentioned this to you before. I think Nairobi is the best city in the freaking world. I've lived all around the States. I'm originally from Philly, so shout out to my Philly people.
Okay, King of Prussia.
You said King of Prussia. We kind of allowed King of Prussia to kind of be in King of Prussia.
That's all I know.
That's where the people,
Eagles and King of Prussia.
Well, the Eagles, my favorite team.
Okay, Eagles.
You know, I always say since I've been living here that if I didn't have a big family and blessed to have some unbelievable friends and a Philadelphia Eagle lover and a Howard University lover, there would be no reason for me to ever go back to the States. Like, ever. Nothing. There's no reason. And I used to love the States.
And I'm proud to be
American. Yeah, I'm proud to be an American. But
so you had a good experience at home. A lot of people have been like in disenfranchisement situations, racism, things that have led them as a catalyst to moving and leaving. So you really just were vibing, soft life in America.
It's funny you say that. I just had a friend, shout out to my man Rich Money from Camden, who came here and stayed 14 days. And he was like, yo, Troy, when I retire in 2 years, I'm moving here. I have a friend here now, Erin Robinson, who's a dope graphic designer. Shout out to Erin. She's doing the Kwanzaa postal sticker. Wow. She designed that for this coming year.
Wow.
Yeah, she's really dope. HU. She came and now she's staying for a year.
Wow.
Like she's like, yo, I can do all my work here. I don't have to be in the office. As long as I'm on the US time limits, I'm good. Exactly. You know, I have not had anyone come to visit me that was like, it was cool, it was okay. Everyone's like A+.
It was amazing.
You know, like, Troy, I want to come back. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. I didn't think it would be like this. And, you know, shocked. Everyone, every single family member, every single friend that has ever visited me has truly enjoyed and taken in Nairobi.
I love that. So what did you love the most about the city once you began to become like acclimated?
All right, so these are the things that I love about Kenya. So I'm gonna answer your question, but in a different kind of way. I think the promise of the country is headed in a positive way. And what I mean by that is that whatever you want to do, no matter how creative you are or no matter how crazy you are, if you got willpower, you're gonna need some money, know a couple people, you can do anything here. Yeah. You can wake up in the morning and say, I think I want to invest in infrastructure. And you could do that. I think I want to open up a coffee shop. You can do that.
I want to buy some cows today.
Like I want to buy some cows today and get into farming.
I'm gonna make a farm.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
And in the States, which no knock on the States, you know, I love y'all.
This is a safe space.
It's you know, yes, there's ceilings, and yes, we break through those ceilings, and we must break through those ceilings.
But imagine if there was.
Why the freak do you have to break through a freaking ceiling? Yeah. Why can't you just grow? And that's my thing. Like, I don't want to break through any more freaking ceilings. I just want to grow, you know. And you can do that here. Like, you can do whatever your specialty is in the States, you can rock that here. And you have less competition. And people, like, I love the fact that here, when I put together a marketing strategy for a brand, you can quickly see whether or not it's a good marketing strategy or whether or not it sucks. None of my strategies suck.
I think a lot of Kenyans are very supportive or vocally
you can feel it
sucks.
Quickly. Yeah. You know, whether or not you made the right decisions.
There's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, very, very, very quickly. So I love that here. Yeah. Because then you know, okay, instead of going right, we're going to make a quick left and fix this. And then we can keep it moving. So the promise of the country, I love that. The people, cool, very cool. I haven't had any problems. Like, and I go everywhere from the Kabirs in the slums to Kempinski. You know, and I'm floating in between all kinds of different worlds, and I never have had a problem, you know. So it's a safe city. Yeah, you might get your phone stolen or some shit like that, but you can get shot in the States. I prefer to get my phone stolen than get shot. It's a safe city. I feel really safe when I'm out. You don't have to walk around with security like you have to do in some other African countries. When I used to work in Lagos, they used to pick me up at the airport with 2 security guys with AK-47s and jump in a car, and I couldn't go anywhere without security. And here I can go anywhere.
Really?
2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and feel very, very, very safe. The weather. So for you people in the States, you know how they say San Diego is the best place for weather in the States. Nairobi is like San Diego, but better. It's never too hot. It's never too cold. When I tell my friends in the States I don't have an air conditioner, they're like, yo, bro, you need some money and shit? Like, how you gonna be in Africa? How you gonna be in Africa and not have an air conditioner? Bro, like, let us send you some PayPal so you can get air. Like, you don't, no, we don't need air conditioning here. You don't need a heater here. You don't need any of that shit. It never gets too cold. It never gets too hot. So I love the weather. Yeah. And I love the growth. So everyone knows that the future of the world is this continent, Africa. Every study says that Africa is the future. Every other continent
Africa up next
has had its day. We used to have our day. Now it's coming back around to our day again. So I want to be a part of that. And I personally believe if Africa is the future of the world, I personally believe, and no knock against other countries in Africa, I think Kenya could lead Africa in being the future of the world.
Wow, the future of the world.
Yeah. I 1,000%
ahead of Nigeria.
Believe that. Yeah. For certain reasons. I just think it's just my vibe, and I'm a big viber. I bought a house, and shout out to Lynn Burnett, who used to own Vibe magazine, really great guy. He turned me on to Harlem in '95. And he was like, yo, you need to buy a house in Harlem. And I was like, you crazy, bro. I'm living on 43rd and 11th, dope ass apartment. You know, I'm not moving to Harlem. And he was like, give me a Saturday and let me take you up there. And this is before Starbucks and Magic Johnson Theater and all the things that came into Harlem. This was, if you saw Harlem, it was on in the news, it was only negative. And I went up there and it took me 30 minutes to get it. Like the energy. I was like, yo, this vibe, I love this energy. Like, I'm feeling Harlem.
Energized.
Yeah. I was like, I want to buy in Harlem. So I bought a house in Harlem. Then I got like 10 of my friends to buy houses. And those 10 got at least 50 other black folks to buy houses in Harlem before the prices went up crazy. I feel the same way about Nairobi as I felt about Harlem. I was like, Harlem's going to be the shit. Like, I know it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can taste it.
Tap in.
The same thing for Nairobi. I think Nairobi is the future.
I love that for you. Would you consider yourself like popular here? You know, a lot of people here in Nairobi. You've been here for 7 years, which is kind of long in the expat game.
Because of my business in regards to doing marketing and events and things, I have to know a lot of people. So I know an immense amount of Kenyans. An immense. Yes, a lot. Yeah. But it's my business. It's what I have to do. So I have to know folks.
So you plan parties. What are some things that you do to cater your parties, especially to the city of Nairobi and Kenyans and other people? Like, how is the party kind of seen different?
What I love about Kenyans is that they appreciate, if you give them good stuff, they like it and they're loyal to it. It's like that saying, if you build it, they will come. I've just believed, and basically I don't really come up with new creative stuff. I use ideas for brands and for events that I've done in the 90s. in the 2000s in the States that haven't been done here. So that's kind of like the cool thing too. Like whatever industry you're in the States, if you can take that information and those experiences that you've had and bring them here, and it'll kind of put you, you know, a little ahead of the game, because now you're bringing in international experience and things that people haven't done here. And all you have to do is just use those ideas and tweak them a little bit to the culture, and then you got it. I'm not bragging or anything, but the parties and events that I've had here have been kind of legendary.
You better brag on yourself.
No, it's
you can, though. You're allowed to.
There's some shit I really suck at, but doing events and coming up with creative strategies is what I'm blessed with.
Give me your best event that you hosted here in Kenya and tell me why.
Okay, so clear, heads on, it would be the Martell Blue Swift launch that I did at my office in house. This was like 4 years ago. It was in April, 4 years ago, and it's known to be the best party that anyone has thrown in Nairobi. Now the problem here is that brands don't a lot of times want to spend a lot of money on events and parties. They want to do them kind of cheaply, but had found a brand that wanted to spend some real freaking money on a one-day event, a one-day party, and I made the experience very unique. Like the invites were totally different. We didn't even have an address for the invites. I told people to meet them, and they were very high-end, sexy invites too. They were all hand-delivered to 300 people. I told them to meet at a parking lot. Met at the parking lot, rented some Range Rovers, branded the Range Rovers with the Martell Blue Swift brand on the side, had beautiful brand ambassadors there escorting the people, the guests to the Range Rovers, gave them, you know, a drink for the ride to the venue. They get to the venue, and from the time they hit the gate, it's an experience. And that's what I'm big into, like making sure that
from the get-go,
from the invite. I believe that the invite should be just as hot as the party. Going to the bathroom should be an experience. Like everything, I think of everything. But that's because I've been doing events since the 80s. So I've got a lot of experience.
You bought your house in Harlem when I was 3 years old. I did the math.
Damn.
I did the math.
I did say I'm old as shit. So it's funny, my sister was watching the interview that I did. Shout out to you, Tori. And she was like, I started doing events at Howard. And she was like, no, Troy, actually you were doing events when you were 13, because when mom and dad would leave the house and take their summer vacation for a week, you would always throw parties at the house.
I'm done with you. not club promoted in middle school.
13. You know, and I never had any problems. No one ever tore up the house. Always had security. I always hired my boy Big Joe to do security, and had somebody organizing parking outside and making sure that people weren't outside, making noise and shit like that. So I've been doing parties since I was 13, and I'm 56.
Okay, okay. And Nairobi has that fire for you?
Oh, most definitely. I think if you give them hot shit, they will take it, and they like it, and they're loyal. You know, if they like your brand, they will follow you, and they will do what you ask. People say, Troy, how can you constantly get like at least 200 people to your events? And I'm like, because I give them quality. You know, I'm not just going to throw them, just throw them this and they'll take it. No,
come out.
No, you want to give them experiences and creative things that they haven't experienced.
I love that for you. What is like one of your bad, like one of the parties you look back and you're like,
I've had one failure out of hundreds.
Okay.
One. And it was a big failure.
It was here?
Oh, it's freaking huge.
It was here in Nairobi?
No, it wasn't here. I haven't had any failures here.
Okay. Tell us about that one.
It was in Philadelphia. One of my boys worked for Jamie Foxx. This was when Jamie was really hot. This is maybe 2008, to 2003.
Unpredictable.
He was the freaking man.
You remember when his album came out? I was like,
no, he can sing.
He had like movie, album. Yeah, that was his time.
Sing.
That was his time
to
be alive.
Huge.
Yeah.
So he was doing a comedy tour and he went to Philly. He was going to Philly and my boy worked for him. He's like, Troy, I want you to throw a party for him in Philly. And I threw parties and events all across the state. So I was like, oh, most definitely. I'll make this shit the hottest party ever, you know. So got a partner. He and I did all the marketing, did everything. Valuable lesson. Valuable. We counted the money before we got it. Never do that shit. My father told me that and I didn't believe him. But I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna do this with this money, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna lay the money out on the bed and make love in it. All that shit. Like dumb, stupid crap. We were supposed to have 1,000 people come to this party. We had 200 people there at like 1 o'clock. I had to call Jamie, call the management, my boy, and be like, yo, I don't know what happened, but ain't nobody here.
Yeah, damn.
So tell Jamie like to just stay.
Damn,
so
that's not fair to the people who came.
Lost a lot of money on that. But I learned a lot of lessons because I believe that my power in Philly was good enough to bring out that 1,000. And I didn't work as hard because I went off of my name and I should have gone off of my work. And I should have pushed until the last second. But I laid back and I was like, oh, we got this. This is easy. Jamie Foxx party, Philly. I've thrown parties in Philly before. I got a crowd, no problem. And
you got
now,
too comfortable.
Now, yes. Now, up until the freaking door is open, I'm freaking like,
yeah.
Are you coming? I'm on it now. Like I will push until we start.
How have you utilized social media to kind of make it easier for you to be a promoter?
Oh, I think Instagram is like the best in the world for events. I've got several lists. I have my WhatsApp list. And then when I meet you, I always put like, if I like you, I'll put party next to you. And then I'll put like a rating next to you.
Let me see your phone. Let me see what's up in there.
When I want to do a party, I just punch in party, then my whole list pops up. And then I can tweak it depending upon what type of party it is and the type of person that individual is. Okay. Like certain people I don't invite to certain parties. Okay. You know, just because it's not brand friendly.
Oh, she got drunk that time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just, you know.
Off brand.
So, and then I have an Instagram list where I don't have those people's personal information, but we talk on Instagram a lot. So I have a party list on Instagram. The
IG party list, the WhatsApp party list, the regular contacts party list.
Those two things I use to get. I've got a really nice database, like really nice database for Kenya.
What are your top 3 favorite clubs in Kenya right now? Your best club experiences. I will say all over Kenya.
I will say right now, it would be Gemini. Just because it's
Gemini, I need y'all to start paying me because I always say Gemini.
No, I've heard you say Gemini.
Yeah, he just said it too. I need a check from.
Do you know Ashi, the manager?
Yeah.
So I would say it's not the sexiest place, but the energy there is really freaking nice. You can at any time I have friends that come in and you want to turn up. It's a great place to turn up. Like,
Milan is aesthetically better.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's a sexier place. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a Milan is a sexier place, and Milan would be my second favorite after Gemini. And I really don't have a third because I don't go to. I go
Bar
out
Next
to
Door
everywhere.
or Ivory Lounge.
Both of them, I'm kind of like, eh.
You have to choose one
because I don't get
That's not your vibe.
I don't get why people like those two spots so much. Because they're so just basic.
But sometimes you want that, or like you just want to wear jeans and some flats. You don't want to go to the Gemini. And you just want to hookah. Chill. It's more of a local vibe.
I will say than bar next door.
Okay.
Because if I go there, I know I'm gonna see like.
No, I said numero. I said numero, or did I say bar next door? I said numero 5 or Ivory. Ivory. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
bar next door or Casavera?
I haven't been to Casavera.
Me either.
Stop it, this.
That's how I was asking you.
Hold on. How about if I would have lied and been like, yeah, I've been there. So what do you think about it? How do you like it? I would have been like, the ambiance is...
It's just the vibe. It's just the vibe. Like, it's really the vibes. Yeah, that's all you gotta say. It's just the vibe. Like, I just love it. Like,
glad I didn't lie.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been there. But I also hang out, like, the best restaurant, well, and I have to say this is not a marketing ploy on my side because I do events and marketing for them, but Mwimbi, great.
Okay.
It's.
You know what? I do not like Mwimbi.
Okay, but let me, before you go talking about you don't like Mwimbi and shit, let me tell you about Mwimbi. Let me tell the people about Mwimbi.
Oh, okay.
So they
disclaimer. Sorry.
So that they can make up their minds.
Sorry. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the
so,
keep on.
The owners of Mwimbi, it's the best restaurant in Kenya. 1, 2, we won an award for best luxury seafood restaurant in the world.
Oh.
After only been open for 2 years. And we won against restaurants that were in London, Paris, freaking Italy, Japan, New York, Chicago, LA. And established restaurants that have been around for 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Wow.
2 years. Number 1. Help them with their marketing and events.
Wow.
The thing I love about Mwimbi, if I take my personal side away from it, is that when they were building it and we had this discussion, it should be a place that when you pick it up, from the chef to the food to the energy to the DJ to the music to the person who cleans the bathroom to the waiting staff to the back office staff, if you were to, in the aesthetics, if you were to pick it up, everything, and place it in Dubai, how will it do? If you were to pick it up and place it in Miami, how would it do? Pick it up, place it in Vegas, how would it do? Because it's an indoor-outdoor spot and it's kind of summery, it has a pool. So those were the 3 areas that, you know, that was our competition when we opened up, not anything in Nairobi. And because of that, it's brought that experience, that whole thing I was saying about you build it, they will come. And it's the hottest spot in Nairobi right now in regards to food and just ambiance and just chill. Like it's a dope spot. And the owners are really freaking smart and they're great cats.
Are they Kenyan?
They're Kenyan, black Kenyan.
Oh, round of applause for that.
Yeah. They're not Indian, they're not white. They got this, and it's dope and it's run well. You know. So tell us your little.
I need more floor space for dancing.
Okay. That is I literally gave them an idea of putting acrylic over top of the pool and turning that into like a VVIP area. Yeah. With like beds.
There does not need to be that much
stuff like that where you can turn, and then at night after the fine dining experience, after 10 you move that furniture and that becomes a dance floor, and then you put lights underneath the pool.
They need to get rid of the pool.
That whole lighting area where the pool is would be really dope. And then you're dancing on a pool. How hot is that? So
I would love that.
We're working on that.
That's essential.
So see that we got that fixed right there. See that?
Yes.
So she really likes it.
Yeah, I do. I do. That was the only thing. The food is really good. I had the ribeye to share. It was like the steak, whatever Japanese steak to share. Amazing. I've had sushi there. Amazing.
Money. It's expensive.
I was on a date. $100. I was on a date with a Kenyan man.
And so he was flexing. He was flexing. Like, baby, I got you.
You want the steak?
You want the steak, baby? You want the $100?
You want the
$100 steak?
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
That was a test. That was a test. He was like,
I said, no, I like chicken. Nope. Love steak. Thank you. Medium rare, T-side, mushrooms. Extra mushrooms.
I'm glad you didn't order it well done. That would have been the other test.
He wanted it well done.
Oh, he's Kenyan.
He's African.
Yeah, the Africans like to cooked well.
How have you seen Nairobi transition from these 7 years that you've been here?
Oh my gosh. It was hot when I got here, but I'm really open. So I didn't, I'm a firm believer. So this is to you travelers. When you go places, don't expect much. Just take what the city gives you. And then you'll have a better time. So I came here like, yo, if I have a C+ experience, then I'm cool. You know what I mean? So I was open to it, and I would have been happy with a C+ experience. But then when we got here, we got an A experience, and that just made it much better.
This is a treat. Yeah.
It just made it much better.
What other countries have you visited?
Here, Tanzania, SA, South Africa. Haven't been to Cape Town. I want to go. I've been to Joburg a bunch of times.
How was Tanzania?
Cool, but I was there for a basketball tournament. Tanzania, Mozambique, and Uganda I've been to, but all for basketball.
So how did that come about?
I have a basketball foundation. That was the first thing I did when I came here, because I used to coach in Harlem. Shout out to the Harlem Jets and to Harlem Little League, two great programs in New York and in the States, period, because they're national teams. So I've always coached. So when I came here, if you do marketing, I believe that you should always put yourself around younger people. And then if you're in a new city, you should put yourself around younger people. Because it's the easiest way to learn the culture in regards to learning the vibe and the rhythm of a city. And then you get all these creative ideas from them. Yeah. You just get creative ideas from them all day.
That's what made me get rid of all my skinny jeans.
So, as I got mine on.
Being around the kids. You're a guy, so it's different. Being around my students, I was like, damn, nobody's wearing skinny jeans. Like, is that whack now? For girls, I think we're supposed to do the loose jeans thing. So, you were there for basketball.
Yeah, so basketball. So we started a foundation called FAM. It's short for family, where I take kids out of the slums here and I teach them basketball and then get them into private schools in Kenya. And then if they're really good, I get them into the States. So far, we've gotten 77 kids out the slums in 7 years into private schools in Kenya. And then we've got 6 kids into the States and 1 college graduate.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a strong black man.
No. Well, we got to give. Like, I wouldn't be here. I would have never have had the success that I've had with working for Sony and 2 presidents and about 100 big brands without people opening doors for me. Like, I didn't do all this by myself. It was God telling people, yo, I need you to help Troy out. You know, and it's always. So I'm a firm believer, because so many doors have been opened for me in my life. I have to open doors. Like, this is what we're supposed to do.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, you have to. You can't just grab and eat and not help feed. Then what happens when your ass gets hungry one day? Who you gonna ask?
Exactly. Nobody.
When I'm hungry, I got people I can go to and ask.
So when your wife went to London and you decided to stay here, was that kind of like a hard decision for you guys romantically?
It was very hard. Very, very, very hard. And it was like we had done 20 years in. Like, we were groovy.
Tell me the secret to making love last 20 years.
3 years of that commuting shit was really hard on her, hence she's my ex now.
Well, not officially. We still have hope. We still have hope for love. The papers aren't signed. You know, immaculate things happen overnight. That's kind of rough. I
want to say this, but we're cool. We're very respectful. And I told you earlier, I prayed for her last night. Like, every night when I get on my knees, when I pray for my kids, I also throw her name in there, because she's the wife of my kids. Like, you know, and I watched my parents go through a divorce, and my mom was cool, and my stepfather was cool with my real dad and his wife.
That's what just makes it cool.
It made our family bigger and stronger. When my stepfather would go to Atlanta, my real dad lived in Atlanta, he would stay with my real dad and his wife.
Wow.
Like, how freaking cool is that shit?
That's
when my father would come up north, and he would come to New Jersey because he's from Camden, he would stay with my mom and my stepfather in Philly. Like, And my stepmom was cool.
That's all.
You know, like it was.
Yeah.
So that's
not like, why you gonna stay at your baby mama's house?
Yeah. Like, none of that. I didn't grow up with that, and
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. Like when you go through divorces or problems, you should try to make it as amicable. There you go. As
20 years of love is intense. How did you
dope.
manage that? Like, what advice would you have for couples?
God first. Like, I don't think we would have made 20 years if we both didn't put God first. Like, and you gotta put God first. Like,
what are some ways that couples can put God first?
Praying together. I'm a firm believer in going to church. Because we would have like an argument on Saturday night. We go to church with the kids on Sunday. And when it's time to say prayer, we always as a family, we hold hands. So we was just arguing last night, but now I got to hold your hand and we got to pray. And when you do that, it literally releases so much. Like we would walk out of church and be like, damn, what was we arguing about last night? And then we would keep it moving. And that was
Spirit cleansed the situation.
Yeah, I think God is definitely important because, and another reason too why God is important is because you can create all kinds of reasons why to do negative things in a relationship. And because of certain situations, you can be like, oh, I can do this because of this. And I should be able to do this because of this. And I can get away with it because she'll never know or he'll never know.
Integrity.
But when you know God is watching, that's the thing. When you know God's watching, then you can't use your personality. You can't use your reasoning. It's either good or bad. You know, and I always held that account. Like that was always in the back of my head. Like,
you know what God wants, period.
Yeah, and I know he's watching. So,
you
know, I'm not going to take things too far. I'm not going to do things that I felt maybe I should have or could have done, but I didn't do it because I was like, you know what? God's watching. And
I feel like you're trying to say I'm not a cheater.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I've been in the past, like in my previous relationships.
Okay.
But I'm a firm believer in this too. So to you sisters out there that might see guys that might have cheated a lot and stuff like that, men can change. I'm a firm believer. If I can change, anybody can freaking change, and I believe that men
don't
change.
count on it though, ladies.
No.
Don't. If you're just waiting for him to change, like, oh my God, he's gonna change one day, girl. Don't count on it.
You know, you gotta get them when they change. That's the thing.
Exactly. Don't stay with them until they change.
My wife got me when I changed. Like,
okay.
I was literally I was on a 3-year journey of changing myself. Because I knew the way I was living was not, I always wanted to have a family and I never wanted to have a divorce. So I was like, I can't live like this.
And attract what you want.
Continue to live like this and have a family. Like, that's not going to work out. And then I went to it was my ex-girlfriend who dumped me, who cursed me out and told me a bunch of things about myself that I didn't realize, that made me think about myself and reevaluate myself.
She put that mirror.
Yeah, she put it. And first I fought that shit, but then when I was by myself, I was like, oh shit, she's right. And then I went to go see this brother named Anthony Browder. He's a famous black Egyptologist. He's got a lot of dope ass books about blacks in Egypt. So I went to go see him talk, and he was talking about how there's a certain time in December where you should fast for like these 2 weeks because of the sun, the moon, the energy, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, at the end of December.
It's sometime during December. And I was like, that's my party season. That's where I have all my events. I'm out every night. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I was like, I made myself try it. I locked myself in my apartment for 2 weeks in December in New York. And I was working for Sony, where there was parties every freaking night. I didn't do anything. And I read the Bible every day and I fasted. And I was like, I came out of that like just, wow, like I really need to change. And then I skipped a part. I went to the Million Man March. And the one thing I took from the Million Man March was when Farrakhan said, to all of my African brothers out there, that treat our beautiful queens like Seminole deposits. You're just as bad as the white man who's raped them for hundreds of years. So hold on. Here's the devil on my shoulder. He's like, yo, he ain't talking to you. You use rubbers. So you don't really deposit semen.
Y'all don't get there every time. So it's okay. I really hate you. Bye.
So that was them being truthful.
These
And then God came on my right shoulder and he was like, you know what he's talking about.
You know what he's
talking about. Like, you stop. You really need to stop this lifestyle. And from that point on, I started working on myself and, you know, being a better guy. And then I met my my wife to be. And then the rest is history. Yeah.
Yes. Do you plan on staying in Nairobi? Is Nairobi home for you?
Yes. Until I get like everything that I need here, like in regards to business wise. I want this to be like, I want to become, you know, a dual citizen. So I want to be able to own property. You know, I want to own some land and some businesses and things of that nature. And then once I've gotten that on cruise control, then I want to come back and forth in between the States and here. But I could totally see me living here the rest of my life and spending, you know, time in the States. And then I was thinking, where would I move to in the States where I won't have culture shock? Because you can't live in a place like this and then go back to the plantation.
When I was driving around my hometown in March, I was just so like underwhelmed. I was just like, oh God.
Your hometown is?
Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay, all right.
So I was just like, this is not it.
Right.
It just was so bland. No life.
Yeah.
The suburbs, U.S. suburbs.
I love New York. I love Philly. Philly's the greatest. I love Philly. I'm a Philly cat. I love D.C. But I figured it would be Atlanta. Just because the blackness of the city, it won't be too much of a culture shock.
I escaped Atlanta.
And then entertainment-wise,
entertainment would be good.
Would be perfect for me. And I have a big base in Atlanta, big family base, and a lot of Howard friends.
You have a lot of African-American male friends here. What is y'all's community like?
It's nice. It's a crew of us. It's gotten smaller because there was a big crew of us when I first moved here 7 years ago. But as you know, a lot of times people take like 3-year jobs here. And then after 3 years, they have to either relocate or go back to the States or whatever. So there are a lot of my African-American boys that were my age that have left. So I've only got a couple that are my age, but then I hang out with a lot of younger people anyway, so.
What do they do for fun?
You know.
What do you guys do when you get together?
Well, literally tonight, the same thing that the young people do. I was about to curse. And I've been doing so well on cursing today.
This is a safe place. Yes. This is a safe place. I cuss.
But we do the same things anyway. Like we're going to probably go to Gemini tonight.
I've never seen you in Gemini.
Yeah. I'm always upstairs.
Me too. I'm always in VIP.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I gotta start looking for you. Yeah.
And I never just stay there. I always walk around.
Okay, you go downstairs.
See friends and stuff like that, and then I come back and just check the vibe and see what people are doing. But we'll probably do that tonight.
Do you do events that support the gay community here?
Not directly. I'd say a lot of my base, especially women, are either gay or bi.
I heard you say you've worked with Fenna. I like her. I know her.
Oh, Fenna's my girl.
I know her.
She's cool. My gosh, Fenna is the artists here in Kenya are unbelievable. And I've worked with Michael Jackson, the freaking Rolling Stones. I worked on the Miles Davis catalog. He was dead. Snoop, Dre, Beyonce, 50, Kanye, a ton of Babyface, Luther, Sade. Worked with Shabba Ranks when he was the first reggae artist, first reggaeton artist. dancehall artist, excuse me, to be signed by a major label. So I've worked with some unbelievable freaking artists, but Kenyan artists are, I always say, if Kenyans were as loud and as braggadocious as Nigerians, Kenyan music would be a lot bigger globally. Only personally think Nigerian music is so big, it's because of the Nigerian culture. Like, Nigerians remind me, when I went to Nigeria, I was like, this is why African Americans are why we are. This is why we're flashy and we all up in people's faces and, you know what I mean, all this. We get it from them. Yeah. Because the majority of us, damn near 90% of us are from West Africa. So I was on the plane once.
It's a bold spirit.
I'm always the loudest person in the room.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not if I'm there.
But every time I would go to Lagos, I'd be like the quiet one. Like, I'd be the quiet one in the room. Like,
I just interviewed a Nigerian and everyone was like, girl, this is your match. She is out talking you. Damn. I was like, I love it.
I love my Nigerian. I did my DNA test. I'm more Nigerian than anything.
You did Ancestry DNA or African DNA?
23andMe.
Everyone says you have to do the African
one. I want to do the
African
one. Yeah, I want to do that one. But the Kenyan artists, I think, are extremely creative. They're hardworking. You take a group like Sauti Sol. You could put them on tour right now. Say if it's Coldplay, biggest rock group in the world, is going on a tour. You could put Sauti Sol to open up for them tomorrow. They'd be ready, they'd be professional, and they would kill that shit. Like, they would kill it.
They're nice. I saw them at the Alchemist.
Freaking kill it. But they don't have, you know, Kenyans are not around the world pushing them the way Nigerians push Burna.
Kenyans ain't standing up for their artists.
No, and that's a big debate here. Like, but it's gotten better. When I first came here, when you listen to the radio, you would always hear Nigerian music or you would hear American black music. You'd hear very few Kenyan artists. 50
Cent in the Ja Rule era has a chokehold on Kenyan.
You know.
That's what I hear a lot with American music. It's like the 50 Cent in the Ja Rule Nelly area.
The 90s hip hop is really, really, really big here. I've even had 90s parties here that go over really, really, really well.
This is how we do it.
But the Blinky Bill is one of the most creative artists. I'm telling you, the top 3, and I've named a lot of artists. He's in the top 3 most creative motherfuckers I've ever met or worked with in my life. Like, that's this the music that this guy has is it's groundbreaking. And I love the fact that Kenya really doesn't have a sound. Like, Nigeria has a sound, SA has a sound with house music, and I'm a piano.
Everybody kind of just does their own
stuff
thing.
But I like the fact that Kenyan artists do their own thing. They all have their different sounds. King Kaka sounds different than Blinky, who sounds different, you know, than Calligraph. You know, they all got their different vibes. And the women, you take a Xenia or a Fena, and put them, Xenia or Karoon, because their music is more like her, or Snow Allegra. And they could freaking put Xenia or Karoon on the stage with Snow Allegra or her, and they would be like this. There wouldn't be no different.
So you think it's just a lack of opportunities?
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
And what are you gonna do about it?
Well, that's why I'm trying to help out. You know, I'm trying to help build that bridge in between here in the States, in between here and Europe, here in the Caribbean.
Do you think you would be able to do what you're doing here in West Africa?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think you would make more money?
Yes.
So why haven't you made that?
But I like it here. You know, I like it. I like it here. Especially for a person my age. Like, I don't want to. West Africa is like more like the East Coast in regards to just the energy. And right now, like, I can run at 70% here. And actually, my friends told me that they'd come to Kenya before I came here. They were like, Troy, don't go to Kenya with 100% Troy. because you're going to scare them. So
not pole.
I was like, okay, so I literally run it like 70-75%, and still at 70-75%. I'm like,
yeah. I was gonna say it's the 75%.
Yeah, this is 75%.
What age do you think men need to stop going to the damn club?
Okay, let me tell you something, because I got boys in the States that are my age. They get on me for still, but I'm like, this is my business. I have to do this. I have to know what's going on.
If you weren't in the business of clubbing, would you still be in the club? You seem like you would still be in the club.
Okay. If I was a banker, okay, and I was living with my wife and kids, I would go to the club maybe twice. No, maybe 5 times a year.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
You should still.
So
I think
for
men
like
and
birthday,
women,
homegirl,
or just go out sometimes with the boys. Like the cool thing about my previous relationship is that we were very free about going places. She could take girls trips, I could take boys trips, I could go to the club. She wouldn't be like, "When you coming home?"
Oh, that's
you know. I wouldn't be like, "Yo, where you
when
at?"
are you coming? Do you think that men should come home? Do men need curfews?
Okay, and she didn't put this on me. I put my own curfew on. One time in our 20-year relationship, I came home with the sun up. One time. That was my rule. Never come in with the sun up. Like that's just not appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
So one time I did. And she didn't give me shit for it.
Because it never happened.
You know.
So you don't think there's a cutoff where it's just like, yo, ass is too old to be in the club?
No, I don't like being in a box. I don't think people should follow box shit. You should follow your shit. You know, do you. Whatever makes you happy, whatever is your thing. If you like to read books and drink warm milk at night and watch Netflix, cool. If you want to go out and party with your boys or go play golf or do whatever to take your mind off of, because you need escapes. You know, you can't just work. You need to, you know, when I get away from what I'm doing, I'm always still working in my subconscious mind, which is good. I get so creative. Like when I come back from a good night out or whatever, the next day, I always have like creative ideas or just like pop in my head.
It recharges.
Yeah. Just being around people, and you need people. People need people. You know, and just being in that vibe.
What do you do when you see one of your friends who are married cheating?
Wow. I don't say shit. I don't say shit because...
Not to the wife, but you don't say anything to him.
No, I'm not going to know because that's his business.
But what about friends who police friends to do better?
No, okay, listen. My thing is you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Hence, I never pass judgment on anyone who's going through a divorce or who's having problems in their relationship because you don't know. You only see what you see on social media or when they're together at a dinner party or whatever and everybody's all nicey. But you never know what's going on behind closed doors. And you never know what people are going through. So I never, ever, especially in marriage, like... I'm like, yo, I act like I ain't see that shit.
So if you saw your homeboy's wife out at one of your parties on some other stuff, what would you do? You're not going to say nothing. Because you mind your business and you don't know what's going on behind her.
No. Why you got to bring that one up?
No. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
That one hurts. That hurts. Because that's my boy. That's like my boy and... You know,
are you going to say something?
No man wants to have his women out there.
Are you going to say something?
I've never been in that position.
But what if you were? Would you say something?
It would hurt the fuck out of me. I probably would because it would really...
See, that's
No.
That's not right.
This is the first time I'm thinking about it because I haven't had to think about it. I've got really good boys.
That's good.
I do. The majority of them are really good. And that's that whole iron sharpens iron. If you hang around a bunch of dope dudes, it's gonna make you a dope dude.
But you're snitching on the wife. That's wrong. How has it been with I know Kenyan women love foreigners, white women love foreigners, black men are kind of exotic here, like black American men, you know? you're a little exotic.
I'm exotic.
You know, African American man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people automatically equate foreign with having more money. You know, how does that go? Have you been like preyed upon, kind of, or do you feel like wow, I get hit on way more here than like in America?
Everything you said there's some validity to that. Some.
Especially with you being a promoter, because you know girls want to. Can you get me in free? Like, can I get drinks? Oh my god! Like me and my girl just want a bottle for free though. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
That happens. But I mean that happens globally. Like for it's,
I'm saying has it exacerbated since you're being here more exotic, kind of like in Atlanta. There's a lot of black promoters, Black American promoters. You know. Here, you're a little different. Right.
Well, on the promotion side, it puts me at the forefront because I don't have as much competition. If I was in Atlanta, there'd be a lot of competition, but I would still be the best. You heard that. Facts. You know, I had some Jabba juice before I came here. You know what Jabba juice is?
Like guava?
No.
Guava juice?
Jabba juice. A friend of mine makes it. Have you seen the plant? It's called, the street name will be cat.
Oh yeah, they chew it.
Yeah, or Mara.
Cat.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine cold presses it and he makes a juice out of it. And it's a natural Red Bull. When I go back to the States, I want to see how we can possibly, because it's better than coffee. I actually have a shot in the morning, and it all the creatives drink it.
Wow, give me that.
It opens your mind. And it's all natural. It's a plant. It's just a juiced plant. That's it. Do you
chew cat?
I do, but it's disgusting.
It's so nasty.
It's freaking disgusting.
And people are like, put it without having more kids.
Okay, so my male friends who've gone through divorces are like, none of them that I know of want to have either get married or have kids again. They call me crazy because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get married and I don't want to have kids, but I'm not going to block that blessing. If God has somebody for me to, I always say, if he has somebody for me to wake up to at 100, because I'm shooting for 100 and healthy. If he has somebody for me to wake up to at 100 and I look over at her and I'm like, yo, this has been nice. You know what I mean? And then just ride off into the sunset. I would.
You're romantic.
Yeah, very much
You're
so.
romantic.
I'm a helpless romantic.
Yeah.
So,
what is the nicest thing
like
a lady could do for you to attract you?
Wow. I like warmth. I like people who are warm, and people who are real. I don't like people who front or act like this or act like that, because whenever you see me, this is the same person you're gonna see whether or not I'm with the president or whether or not I'm with some dudes that sell weed. Not that I know those people.
No, never.
I'm the same person. My parents taught me that. My mom.
Good in all hoods. That's what I like to call
I like that. I like that.
That's what I say. Yeah, I'm good in all hoods. You can take me to the president's house. You can take me to Kibera. You can take me to Iceland.
Yes.
I'm good. Yeah, we'll be good.
I like that. So I like women that are like, and I'm as you could probably tell, my energy is a lot. So
do you prefer a woman who is high energy, or also you need that balance for someone who's
I don't care. I don't like boring people, so I could never date a woman who's just really quiet and a woman who's like, okay, Troy, whatever you say, okay. I can't. No woman I've ever dated has
been
ever
like
been.
that. Okay.
They've all been like boss women, and I like aggressive, strong women. I like that energy.
I like that for you.
No, I like that energy. It makes things hot and it makes things interesting.
Yeah, frequency.
I like to debate.
What is your favorite Kenyan city outside of Nairobi?
Malindi.
Why?
Because I
Isn't
think
that like an Italian man's
okay.
city?
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. I think Melindy, and I've had talks with a good friend of mine who has a lot of power there, and I'm going to help him try to make Melindy kind of like Africa's Hamptons or Martha's Vineyard, in regards to a place where people of African descent can come to, own homes, be a walk away from the beach, and house hop and party and go to great restaurants and clubs like they do in the Hamptons. And
Troy's throwing a mansion party tonight. Let's walk on over.
And actually,
that's a vibe.
I played a part in, you know, the Hamptons explosion amongst African Americans in the early 90s, throwing birthday parties, white parties for Diddy. And I saw how that expanded and blew up, and black folks going out to the Hamptons, although black folks had traditionally gone to Sag Harbor since the early 1900s.
I thought Italians owned everything in Millennial.
But yes, a lot of them have left when the economy, well, not the economy, COVID. It was maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, there were like 2 banks that crashed here. And a lot of Italians lost a lot of money in those banks, and they were forced to leave. They left. So Melindy's not as old man Italian as it used to be. So my thing is, freak that, let's just make it black. And my guy believes in the same thing, who owns property there, and he's active in the government there and stuff like that. And he sees the whole dream. So in December, I'm gonna come back to you because I want you to talk about this. We're trying to put together a huge music and fashion festival in Melindy on the beach.
Wow.
For 6 days, where I bring in international artists and DJs, and I want 25% of the crowd to be African American.
I'll be there.
And start making that like the biggest event on this continent for African Americans to come to.
I would love that.
You know.
Have you heard of Afropunk?
Yes.
Why is
my
there not
friend
one here?
Jocelyn Cooper started Afropunk.
Where's the Afropunk?
It's in SA, in either Johannesburg or Cape Town. They have it.
Kenya needs one.
Nairobi
has that vibe.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I've actually talked to her, and when I go back to the States, I'm gonna try to meet with Jocelyn to talk about bringing something like that here, because Kenya totally has the vibe and the energy and the people, and they love concerts.
What's your favorite meal here?
I'm a foodie, so I eat everything. I had some ugali last night, although I'm not a big ugali eater. I had ugali, I had some skooma, which I love. It's like their version of collard greens, skooma wiki. The Kenyans are famous for choma, but they tend to overcook it for my taste. So I like it medium, medium choma. Shawarmas are nice, those are nice. I like mine hot and spicy.
What's your favorite restaurant here? Otherwise, Mwimbi.
Mwimbi!
What is your other favorite restaurant?
I'd probably say either Tokyo, because I love sushi, and Mwimbi also does sushi, but Tokyo just has a
We know Mwimbi does sushi, okay?
But Tokyo, I love to eat at Social House, so shout out to the Social House.
Social House is nice, yeah.
Their food is really good, and their vibe and ambiance is really fly.
Very fly, yeah.
I've helped them with marketing. I love that place.
Do you mentor?
Yes, I do. Yeah, most definitely.
Mostly like your boys from basketball and things like that.
Yeah, but even just young business people that have, questions like, Troy, I want to get into music. Troy, I want to get into fashion. Troy, I want to get into tech.
Would you say that you're a plug?
Yeah, I'd say.
Troy the plug. Hit Troy up if you guys are throwing any events, need a promoter, need a marketing team, or what so have you.
We make shit hot.
Yeah, if you want to take something that's lukewarm and make it hot, whether it be a party, a business initiative, maybe anything, hit him up. I'm going to put his links below. He is one of Nairobi's finest, and I'm really, really glad to have him here.
Thank you,
we are just looking for ways to show African Americans trying to light up here in the diaspora, make Africa their home. Go ahead.
There's one thing I got to say.
Say it.
Just hit me. Just hit me. And I say this in every freaking, and it's the most profound thing that I'm gonna say.
Oh, drop it.
So get ready for this, John.
Drop.
All right. So I was here. This is my experience, okay? So, and I've heard it from other expats. I was here for like 4 or 5 months, and I woke up one day and I was these are the two things. I felt very light and I felt very happy. And I'm always analyzing myself like a computer every day. Like, what did I do wrong yesterday? How do I fix this? And I couldn't figure out why the hell I felt so happy and so light. Those are the 2 words, happy and light. About 4 days later, and I was so happy to the point of almost crying, like that type of happy.
Euphoric.
Yeah, like, and I felt energy.
Euphoria.
Like I felt like and it, you know when you watch those movies, and I've never seen this live, but someone over ODs and someone hits them with an adrenaline shot, and it just, they like come alive, like, like a you know.
Fresh out the water.
Yeah. I felt that way, and I realized what it was like about 4 days later after analyzing everything.
What was it?
I was like, wow, I've been carrying a refrigerator on my back since I came out my mother. And I never even realized that shit. And the refrigerator is that racism, white shit that we have to deal with as African Americans every freaking day. I don't care how many degrees you
will
have,
always be reminded
how much
that you're black.
money you make. I don't care how successful you are or how big your brand is. You will get what I call the black slap, and it happens. And we literally treat it like we don't realize as African Americans that we're carrying this weight every day. Hence why we have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, why we eat too much, heart disease, and why we
alcoholism,
make just badass decisions on how to live. It's because we're carrying that big ass refrigerator on our back. I always say it's like being in a bad relationship, and it's the only relationship you've ever been in. So if you're a man or a woman, because men get their asses beat too, and that's the only relationship you've ever been in, and you're getting your ass beat every day, you're like, I guess this is how it's supposed to be, because this is the only relationship that I've ever been in. So, and he says he loves me, so I guess it's okay. That's African Americans. I equate that as us in the States.
Ingrained. And
we are beaten every freaking day, and we take it. And that's that weight that I said disappeared. So that was the lightness. And the happiness was, all of a sudden, I felt like my mind, my creative ideas, like I felt like I was in my freaking early 30s, late 20s.
Let me guess your age.
You know, so, you know.
I love that for you.
Yeah, no, that's
black men deserve that.
No, and black women.
Yeah.
Like we as a people, period, deserve to not have to carry that weight and just live. Let me just be. It's like when we went to Howard, if you got an A-, you got an A-. You never thought, you know, he should have given me an A, but he probably didn't give me an A because I'm black.
Yeah.
You know, or if you didn't get a job, you're like, I didn't get that shit because they don't like black people.
Yeah.
You know, you always
got
that
black
shit on you. Yeah. But here, you don't have that. You don't have to. If you get an A-, you got an A-. It
is what
if you didn't get the pitch, you just didn't get the pitch.
Yeah. You can't in the back of your mind be like racist.
Yeah. You can't rely on that shit.
If I would have came in with a different hairstyle.
Yeah. That's never in the back of your mind. So it makes everything even and clean. And to be able to live like that is just unfreaking believable. And
you're 57.
I'll be 57 in August. How did you do that shit?
You're 50. I can feel the vibe. You feel like my dad's age.
Damn.
My dad is 57.
Daddy.
That's why I guessed it. Listen.
You must have a cool ass pop though.
Yeah.
All right.
Both my parents are a vibe.
I always say
my mom
cool
is
parents
49.
make cool kids.
Yeah.
So
I've been
cool
listening.
Kid.
My mom, I think when I was in 5th grade, she got me Blueprint 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hot. That's hot. In 5th grade.
My mom was like, I remember my grandma was like, what is wrong with you? And my mom was like, it's a good album.
It's a good album. I think we need to hear this art.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah, that's a vibe. Yeah. Well, this has been really good. You guys check the links below and let's talk. Do you do YouTube?
I have YouTube footage
There's no reason you should not have a YouTube.
Yeah, now I should have a YouTube channel.
We need to chat. There's no reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But I've got a bunch of YouTube videos. I just don't have a freaking channel.
I have 17 tires. I just don't have a car.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. True that.
Bye, you guys.
God bless. Thank you. Love you, Britt. Troy.
So what are some of the things that you're working on right now?
So I'm kind of Jamaican. I got like 50 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
So number one is a virtual reality company that's based out of London called Digital Self. One second. So what can we look forward to you doing here? Like, what could we possibly support you on? Okay, so first, I got like 50 jobs. So one is, numero uno is a company called Digital Self. That's based out of London. I'm the MD for Africa and for the States. And what we're doing is creating virtual reality and 360, 2D 360 experiences for brands, for tourism, for schools, for artists, so that they can push their products virtually. And then if there's a pandemic or anything and there's a lockdown, people can still make money. Artists can perform in their homes and invite 20, 50,000 people to pay and see them perform in their home virtually. You know, a safari camp can, you know, someone in Philadelphia can take their kids on a virtual safari, you know, if everybody's locked down. Or on a nice Saturday. Yeah. You know, let's take a virtual safari in Kenya today. That's a cute, you know, thing. Just, and that's where we're headed. Like, that's the future. Yeah. So, work, just everything, school, everything is headed to medicine. Everything is headed to that whole virtual type of thing. So I'm doing that here in the States. The other company is a company called Kifaru, which is a game development company that I started here with 3 other Kenyans, developing video games and content in regards to animation. So right now we're working on a game called Afro Vendetta. It's with African artists, and you can use them and fight against each other. So Davido can fight against Blinky Bill in like a Mortal Kombat type of way. So I can't wait for us to finish that up. I think globally that's going to be like a huge freaking game. That sounds fun. Yeah, and the developers that I have here in Kenya, you know, tech-wise, Kenya is right up there. It's like with freaking the States, with Europe, with India. Like, it's no drop-off in regards to the tech side. Honestly, my signal's better here. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Like, yeah, than Sprint in Atlanta. Get up. When I'm back home and I tell people, especially white folks, that, you know, Kenya's been doing mobile money they were the first country to ever do it, first of all. And second of all, they've been doing it longer than Apple Pay, Chase Pay, all these things that people are using in the States now. You know, Kenya's been doing this shit for damn near like 15 years. Not new to this, you true know, to this. When my boy was here, Rich, I told you, he was like, Troy, I've been here for 2 weeks. I haven't seen you touch any money at all. Or a credit card. Like, I haven't paid for everything with our phones, like everything. Yeah. So Kenya is really, when it comes to tech and people's ability to accept change, it's light years ahead. I can agree. So the gaming part, our developers are really, really, really dope. Like, they can compete with anyone globally. And then there's a advertising company called Eyelash Media, where I'm a partner in, where we're putting up 3D billboards. So the video 3D billboards where they're virtual, where clients can change the image messaging every day. I love that. We can give exact head counts of how many people, how many men, because we have cameras literally scanning people's faces. So we can tell how many people looked at the ad, when they looked at it, what time, whether or not it was a male, female, you know, how many Range Rovers drove by, how many Toyotas drove by. So we're picking up a lot of data with that, and everyone knows data is a lot of money. So those are my three biggest things, along with putting together events for brands here.
Are your events like priced to where it's not really like local friendly? What's your main demographic that you?
Well, I'd say 90% of my crowd is Kenyan.
Okay.
Literally, I'd say 90% of my crowd is definitely Kenyan.
That's great.
And 10% of it is my Black expat friends.
Who is your demographic that you go after mainly as far as partying? Like
the people who have the biggest influence. It's because if you have those people at your parties, then it just makes your parties even hotter to the rest of the world. So, and then they do marketing for you. So if you got somebody that's got, 200,000 followers, and loyal followers, at your party and event, and they're live streaming it and posting it, and they're tagging your brand, that's what you want. Now you've got 200,000 people that just had exposure to your brand. And I have a lot of great relationships with a lot of people that have great relationships and big followings. So,
are you doing a Juneteenth party?
Target? No, because I'll be in the States. Yeah.
When's your next party?
My next party will be when I come back from the States, which will be the end of July. I'll have my Love party at Move and Pick. Love is a brand that I started here, Love KE for Kenya. It's a private member. So I like doing things that no one's done. It's the best thing in the world. So no one has a private membership only club here in Nairobi. So I created my own club called Love. It's in Move and Pick, which is a big chain of hotel events. And the owner is a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Mike, not owner, the general manager. Is a good friend of mine. He's one of the first people I met when I came here. And he came to my Mwimbi Groovy First Thursdays parties, and he was like, Troy, I love your crowd. Like, we need to bring some of these people to Move and Pick. And I was like, all right, cool. Show me what you got. So he took me to a place there on the 15th floor.
I never would have been there if it was not for your party.
Yeah, because no one goes to that area.
I've never even heard of it. I always just go upstairs.
As soon as I walked in, I was like, I see it. Like, private membership only club. And then we fought about the name for the longest time. He didn't like Love. And then I was sitting in his office. And this is when the president of some country got shot. Haiti. Yeah, and then something happened in Afghanistan, and we're looking, and he says it. He's like, man, the world needs more love. And I look at him, and I'm like, that's what I've been trying to tell you, Mike. Yeah. Love is the answer. So he was like, got it, Troy. We're going to call it Love. So
it was fun. It was a vibe. The one thing that I look for, I need fast bartenders. So like,
yes. So we're better since the last time you came.
That was like
we're training them because they're hotel staff.
Yeah.
So hotel staff, they're kind of laid back and stuff. We've been working on that.
Yeah.
I told them this is a club. This is not a hotel. So the staff has gotten a lot better and more aggressive about serving drinks and stuff. And here things are a little slower.
Well, cocktails too. Cocktails slow things down. Yeah. It was like the signature cocktails. So yeah.
No, you're 100% about that. And I told him, I was like, we're losing money. Like, you should be coming,
that's what
like,
I told
asking
the bartender.
People, like, yo, come, hey, are you finished with that?
Yeah.
Would you like another one?
I was like, if you were a little faster, I would be on my third drink. But I'm still waiting on my first drink, damn. But otherwise, the vibe was cool. I love the pictures, very aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
I liked your crowd. It was like super, super fun. I could tell you know what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
And I look forward to collaborating with you. I'm turning 30.
Wow, that's nice.
So I'm trying to I want to have something here in Kenya, whether it be at the end of July, but I do want to have like an event for my birthday.
All right, so why don't we do something at Mwimbi? Because we have really great birthday parties.
Let's do that then.
But it would have to be the first weekend.
Yeah, it can be later.
I mean, it would be the first Thursday in August.
That's fine. I'm still 30.
Yeah, the first Thursday in August. That'll be my next Groovy First Thursdays party. And that's where I take Kenyan artists. I have them perform at Mwimbi by the pool, and I have them perform acoustically. And I kind of got that from ideas that me and some of my friends used to do in New York with artists, and just have them perform and have them perform acoustically so that people get a chance to hear their music in a really pure type of manner. Which is
what is
really
the
cool.
sloppiest you've ever seen somebody at one of your parties? What did they do?
Ooh, just fall asleep. Pee. I saw someone pee on themselves once. A woman, a guy. Well, people throw. You know, Kenyans like to enjoy their taste.
Yeah, gin is the wave right now.
Yes, it's funny. When I first came here, people only drank whiskey. Like whiskey was, and women. Like in the States, you know, at least when I was growing up. Now I'm old. If you went out and you took a woman out and she ordered brown liquor, like whiskey or cognac, you'd be sitting across the table like, oh shit. Like,
She's
okay.
a loose one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun night. Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
women normally stuck with vodka, you know, champagne, wine,
Tequila.
you know, clear drinks. And this is during the 90s. Right?
Yeah, y'all didn't know
So,
no better.
this is
Before
the
Hennessy
90s.
got a chokehold.
But here, when I first came here, damn near every woman I know can drink. And I'm not a big drinker because I hate how I feel the next
Sluggy.
day. Like I feel literally retarded like the next day. Like I feel horrible. I'm slow. I'm just
Groggy.
for
dry,
3 days. Freaking the next day for like 2 days. I'm jacked up, so
yeah.
I hate that. So there are other things that I've picked up as I've gotten older that you know, that make me feel good instead of drinking. That are also natural. I'm a big herb and natural person. I take like 15
Do you smoke
vitamins
weed?
and herbs every day. And I
Do you
make
smoke weed?
really good herbal drinks.
Oh, okay.
And canna butter.
I have an edibles plug. I have an edibles plug.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah,
Really nice.
it's a
Really
vibe.
nice, really nice.
What was I gonna say?
You know, but I try not to do things that I know I'm gonna pay for the next day. That comes with wisdom. I got 2 things I was telling someone last night. I got rules on going out. Like I never go to more than 2 places in a night. You know, Kenyans like to jump from place to place, go to 3, 4, and I don't do that because what I've told my younger friends, realize anytime you've gone to a 3rd place or a 4th place, the next morning, you've never said to yourself, I'm so happy I went to the 4th place or I went to the 3rd place. Always the next morning, you're like, why the hell did I do that?
I should have just stayed
Why?
at the first
I should have just stayed at the first place, or I should have just stayed at the second. You never say, yo, the 4th place was hot.
I don't
oh
know
my
though.
gosh,
I've had some nights
that
where
shit was,
4th place was
like that.
Yeah, I've had some nights. What time do your parties end for the most part?
3 or 4.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
That's a decent.
But
it's decent. Early.
Yeah, 3 or 4, because even sometimes people will leave my place and go to Gemini, you know, at 3, or go to Milan.
You like
3.
Onyx?
Or Onyx. Some of them, my younger friends will tend to go to Onyx more than Gemini or Milan.
So if things do not work out between you and your wife, unfortunately, God bless the union, do you plan on dating?
Well, things haven't worked out. Like we are separate. We're having a divorce.
If things continue in this fashion,
yes, date.
Are you open to dating?
Yeah. Oh, well, you guys are the best thing that God created, Black women. So, you know, yes, I will date.
African American preference here, Kenyan preference,
melanin preference.
Do you feel like you're cheating yourself if you dated an African American woman here?
No.
My bad.
Troy, Azza, I love you guys. See you soon.